How does one use an 18-inch long Johnson? It's fairly simple. All you need to do is insert the tip of the shaft into this opening and press firmly. You'll note that while the shaft is fairly flexible, it's also quite hard. And that hardness is both intrinsic to the function and it greatly aids the insertion. Now, one thing I immediately noticed with my new Johnson is that no matter how hard I pushed, I wasn't able to stuff more than about 6 to 8 inches into the opening. If you try to shove it in any farther, you're likely going to do damage. You can, however, insert the Johnson in either the front or the rear opening. To get it in the rear, you flip it over, then insert the tip of the shaft, that's usually the hard part, then give it a solid shove to fully seat it. Once again, inserting the Johnson more than about 6 to 8 inches into the rear hole risks damage, though you may be able to get in a bit farther with proper lubrication. Now, as you might imagine, I was quite proud of my new 18-inch Johnson, and when I received it, I showed it to all of my friends and family, at least those who I could get to look. I was quite surprised when my father took me aside and revealed that he too had an unusual Johnson, in fact one that's far more rare than my own. His, of course, is a slightly older model, which is generally built the same, with a somewhat flexible yet very hard shaft. However, my father's Johnson is a full 24 inches long. I can't even get it on screen. I've read about Johnsons this long, but never imagined I'd ever get to handle one. Now, when I first examined it, I noticed that my father's Johnson has a wide bulbous feature on the end of the shaft. Because of that, you can only shove about 2 to 3 inches of the shaft, really just the tip, into the opening. After that, it tends to get stuck. That said, it does seem to be very effective.